What's up, guys? Today I'm here to talk about something I'm sure many other people have already talked about, but my God, is it just on my mind? And that is the Saudi Arabian Comedy Festival they're doing. Beyond that, specifically, Bill Burr's involvement. So the lineup for that festival is huge, and there's many comics that did it. But Bill Burr really stuck, him and Pete Davidson, for different reasons. But I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like getting up in arms about every little thing famous people do is just worth your time, your energy, your focus. Like, if you really don't want to, and consume their content or support them, I get that. But I don't know. I just don't feel like it has to be this huge thing. Everyone's just living their life. And, if you try to be the moral person in every single scenario, I feel like you wouldn't be able to do anything. And maybe you'd say that's not a good enough excuse. And hey, all right, whatever. But Bill Burr stuck out to me out of that lineup specifically just because of like how outspoken of a person he is. I wouldn't even necessarily say politically, but just with what's on his mind, and that has happened to be political stuff at times. And especially, people are pulling up old clips of him denouncing celebrity. I think it was like Jay-Z and Beyonce, maybe just Beyonce, for going over and performing for some of the royals or one of their kids or something like that. And granted, this is from over 10 years ago, 2011, but I would say I think the point does kind of stick just because I don't think things have really changed much over there. And, it's just everyone's now kind of calling him out for his hypocrisy on the situation. And I get that. I feel like he approaches his comedy with like a common sense kind of thing. And then obviously now this doesn't look like he's standing on his beliefs or his morals. And especially after the whole his wife flicking off Trump thing. And I'm not going to say one thing or the other about that. Like, she has the right to do that, and I definitely think people went super overboard in attacking her, and I don't think any of that was called for or justified. But just the inherent message of like, okay, I don't agree with Trump. I think he's a bad guy. Flicking him off. And it wasn't even him who did it. So it's like also another thing. Like, she's her own person. He wasn't flicking the guy off in the photo. So it's like, okay, like everything his wife does, we have to blame on him. I don't think so. But it just definitely doesn't hurt or doesn't help the perception of what's going on right now when it's like that. Was that even a year ago? She was flicking him off, and now he's like doing a show for, a place that does have living slaves there. Like, I don't know. For someone like him, it really just did blow me away, and I wanted to talk about it because I never would have expected someone like him to do that. He was the guy you would have for sure, like if you didn't know, you would have for sure said he was on the side making fun of guys going over there to do that. And I mean, I don't even want to say justification because I don't think he's trying to justify anything to anybody. I think he's just talking about it. But like being like, oh, I heard all this stuff about these people and I was eating it up, but I get there and they got a Chili's, like. And it's just such a weird, like, okay, so what does that have to do with anything? Do the slaves get to eat at the Chili's? Like, I mean, what's your point here? And that is where people are just going after him. Honestly, I think people would still be upset with him, even if he was, like, being a little bit more upfront about the whole situation and the obvious negative comments he's getting and just kind of own the thing. I honestly think he would have got more respect for that. But just the whole, like, well, I come over here, everyone's just like, hey, shooting shit. And it's like, all right, well, what about the slaves? What about the human rights violations that, you've denounced in the past before? Is what's going on? And so basically, he just kind of revealed to a lot of his fans that there is a price for him. And apparently they had that amount of money on hand to give to him. Like I said, I don't even want to necessarily use this as a gotcha moment personally. It's like, he did what he did. A bunch of other comedians did it too. I just more so just wanted to talk about the situation and his overall fan base's reaction, which I just feel like he should have foresaw. Like, dude, the kind of comedy that you do and the kind of points you try to make, like, did you really think that your fans were just going to eat this up, that you're going over there? Like I said, Pete Davidson's the other one that really, obviously his whole dad thing, but I don't know. I have my own thoughts about Pete Davidson. I'm not going to get into that too much here. Just wanted to focus more so on the Bill Burr part, just because, like I said, he's one of those guys that everyone probably would have like been for sure all my money on. He wouldn't do that. That he would make fun of the guys that went over for that. Basically, what Shane Gillis is doing. That's what everyone would have thought Bill Burr would have done. And just for him to change up, and not only just change up, but basically go against things he said in the past. And like I said, I know those things were over 10 years ago, but not much has really changed. So it's like, I mean, his opinions could have changed. I don't think they really did. I think they just offered him a lot of money. So, easier to not think about those things anymore. I that's what it seems to me. But let me know what you guys think and your thoughts, specifically on the Bill Burr. Like I said, I know a bunch of comedians went over there, and I know a bunch of people have things to say about those people as well. Though they never probably really had too many nice things to say anyway. So to me, it's kind of like, more of the same. But Bill Burr is obviously a beloved comedy legend, and now people are definitely souring on him with this changeup. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for listening. I'll see you later.